So we're going to
So where are we
Dantor.
going now?
Dantor.
What's Dantor?
Dantor is, well, the reason we're going there is because there is a monument made by the Nazi Party during the fascist regime. The monument is to the victims of the First World War, but I think it still serves as a reminder of a much darker period in German history. This monument stands as an undeniable symbol and reminder of what once happened. For me, when I walk around this city, having spent 3 months here, and I ask myself the question, why has it developed in the way that it has, and particularly why has the socio-cultural conscience developed as it has in such a distinctive way? This monument at least suggests some kind of answer to that question. German people, I find, are very eager naturally not to let happen again, not to let any racism or cultural exclusion creep into society. They work very hard to not allow that to happen, and I think if you're looking for reasons as to where socio-cultural work and the whole principle of socio-cultural perspective comes from, you have to look back that far. You have to look at, go back 50 years and keep in mind those reminders of what once happened. It still has its origins in that era. It's still about deconstructing and dismantling fascism and building barriers against it. I suppose I'd like to know, the name of this institution, and does it work in a similar way to Kulturläden, or are you familiar with Kulturläden and the work that's done there?
I'm not too familiar with Kulturläden. The name of the place is Kaffeewelt.
Okay, yes.
And so that means the world of coffee.
Okay. Yeah.
And we have a coffee.
Yes.
Where we offer cake and ice cream and salads and baguettes and soups. Yeah. And we also have a big auditorium where we have theater and music. Okay. At some nights. The special thing about Kaffeewelt is that it's alcohol-free. Okay. And it is part of a office that helps people with addiction problems, with alcohol problems. The cultural program helps also people who are addicted to stay clean from the drugs and from alcohol, because they realize that there is something else than the alcohol culture.
This monument deconstructs fascism. In this monument, fascism deconstructs itself. I mean, there's something strange about it, or something distinctly atypical of fascism in the soldiers, in the individuality afforded to each soldier in the sculpture. I mean, maybe it's just the quality of the sculpture, but it does something to undermine the fascist image. Well, this is a monument to to the bombing of Hamburg in 1943. It's really an image from hell. It's very hard to spend time in Hamburg and not be moved by this, actually. It's very dark. They don't try and hide anything, I think, in this monument. It's quite scary. But it serves, I suppose, as another reminder. I mean, it's right in the centre of the city, beside the shopping district, and you can't miss it. So I think it's quite a brave monument, an effort to not let people of Hamburg forget the past.
Well, this is the Bürgerhaus in Barmbek. It's a social cultural center for part of Hamburg. It's a very nice and motivating working place. We try to bring the culture in the neighborhood of the people who could use it. So we offer culture for the people, and they don't have to get in on the train and to travel into the city of Hamburg. We say this is an offer of culture for them here around. That's the part which every social cultural center has to do. I think social culture as culture is is not a thing, it's just a process. Because people sitting in a theater are kind of talking with the actors, and the actors are talking back. And if you stop this dialogue between people who produce something, who make art, and people who are recepting it or consuming or whatever you call it, then you come, if you stop that, you can't continue at that point again. You have to build it new. We saw that in Germany, not my person, but the German people saw that in the 30s and 40s when Hitler smashed the whole cultural work and drove our avant-garde out of Germany. And then we had lost time, 30 years, 40 years after that, we started where we had broken down the topic. Kinds of communication is the first point of social culture, and we are trying to offer this.
Hello, Christina. We are in Bürgerhaus now. What is Bürgerhaus for you?
It makes my life happier. And the quality of my life is going up very much. For a long time I come here in this house and I learn English, and sometimes I see films, and we have a lot of interesting political discussion, and a good culture I can have here. I'm very glad with this Bürgerhaus.